The woman wanted to know just how powerful her boyfriend's connections really were, so she grabbed her boyfriend's phone right out of his hand. She made a call to borrow some money, but she never expected she only meant to borrow $100,000, but the person on the other end thought she wanted to borrow $1 billion. The next second, he showed up in front of her with $1 billion in cash. The woman was completely shocked. That's when she realized the man who answered was actually Tom, the richest man in the entire country. It turned out the man's true identity was far from simple. He was the sole heir to the #1 company in the world. He was always surrounded by luxury cars in his daily life, and at home, he even owned a luxury private yacht. But 3 years ago, when he fell in love with his girlfriend, he worried that his wealth would put pressure on her, so he hid his identity all along and lived as an ordinary man. But what he never expected was that today, his girlfriend, in order to earn $1 million, went as far as joining a flashy wealth showcasing competition, and his true identity was completely exposed because of this reality show. The woman showed up at the competition with the man. What was once just an ordinary show suddenly went viral, with ratings skyrocketing. A huge audience turned their attention to it. The reason this happened was all because of the man. His opponent in the competition was John, the president of a listed company, and yet he was just a farmer from the countryside. With such a massive gap in status, everyone wanted to see how he could possibly win. Soon, the host announced the start of the competition. The first round was a test of the contestants' credibility. Whoever could borrow the most money would win the round. John was full of confidence. He immediately said he would go first. He casually made a call. The person didn't even ask a question. They just lent John $5 million straight away. But that wasn't all. After that, John's phone wouldn't stop ringing. More and more people were willing to lend him money. $1 million, $3 million. On the big screen behind the host, the numbers kept climbing. It didn't stop until it reached $10 million. Everyone was shocked by John's influence. John looked at the man provocatively, but what he didn't know was the man wasn't paying attention to him at all. What he cared about was how to keep his true identity hidden. The only one nervous was his girlfriend. She never expected that John would be this powerful. The host kindly reminded the woman John had already borrowed $10 million, and that unless she surpassed John, she couldn't win this round. The woman grew even more nervous. The man wanted to persuade her to quit, but she refused, because she had a reason she had to win. So the woman cautiously called her relatives. She had just started to ask for money when her relative cut her off. She was even humiliated. And worse, her aunt, afraid she would ask for money, went so far as to deny being related to her. Seeing this, John's wife, Anna, laughed at her without restraint. She mocked that both she and the man were just from the countryside and had no business competing with her. Facing Anna's ridicule, the woman still refused to quit. Helpless, she turned to the man for help. She hoped he would borrow money from his friends. The man instantly grew anxious. He still hadn't figured out how to keep his identity hidden. Seeing him hesitate like this, the woman grabbed his phone directly, but to her surprise, she saw Tom's name on the screen. Everyone was stunned.